What is going on, people inside of my internet machine? My name is Chris Miller. Welcome to episode 17. Guys, you ever have one of those weeks it's just like, right? It's nothing bad, but nothing good. Just kind of a ho-hum week. That's kind of the week I've had. Before we get started, that's that last episode where I was like freaking out, like having a big boy freak out. We ended up selling that Super Nintendo lot. I sold it with Super Mario World and Paperboy for $50. So I got exactly my money back in cash, and I got to keep, Final Fantasy 2 and then Cubert 3, which is in the stacks right there. So got to keep those two games, made my money exactly back. So not bad. I mean, it's a small battle, but you gotta win some of those small battles, right? You can't win big ones all the time. Also, that GameCube. The black GameCube that came with the Game Boy player and the disc and that extra controller. I put that on Craigslist for $45. Hoping that would sell, but thinking that maybe somebody would like try and negotiate with me, like, hey, would you take 40 or whatever? But yeah, somebody wanted it for $45, so we went ahead and we moved that out the door. So I kept the Game Boy player and the disc, and because I paid $50 for that lot, I picked up a Game Boy player and the disc for $4.99 plus tax is what it amounts to. Yeah, but I was sweating it, man, because $100 to put out for some items like that is a little bit more than I usually do. But all right, let's just get into it. You guys saw in the post intro video there, that thrift store, I found a Sega Saturn console. Didn't find a controller or any of the hookups. I checked around, I asked, I didn't see any games anywhere, which is usually the rule. You see a console, look for games. You see games, look for the console. That thing, there was something shaking around in there. And it felt pretty substantial. Like a piece of the board or something in there may have cracked off. It may have been in the back where you put the memory card. That whole piece in there, I don't know how it works, may have came off. Because it sounded like something in there was moving. It sounded pretty beefy. And also the thing wouldn't open. Like I pushed the open button, wouldn't open. $13. I didn't know if it was worth even that in parts, so I just left it. So if I made a mistake, oh well. The other thing here we go, man. The tone of the entire video is about to change. So you saw that Goodwill video, and this week in their auction, man, they have a DS bundle, Nintendo DS bundle, a NES bundle, a Super Nintendo bundle. Was it Super Nintendo? Yeah, Super Nintendo bundle, I think. And a GameCube bundle. Why bother going to Goodwill anymore if they're just going to put all that crap in the auction? You know what I mean? I might as well just show up at Saturdays, at 1 o'clock when they're having their auction. Which is kind of upset me because 6 months ago, they had cartridge games at this exact Goodwill and they were $1.99. So, I'm talking to Paul and I'm asking him, he's like, oh yeah, if we get like, cause there's some guy that works there that runs the auctions. That's like his deal, is to just run the auctions. Okay. So if they get like a handful of games in, like 6 games in, he'll put them away and not put them on the shelf and wait for games to accumulate. And then he'll put them out in the auction as opposed to just throwing them on the shelf and letting people buy them, which, listen, it's their stuff. They can do whatever they want, I guess, but that just doesn't seem to be customer friendly right there. Whatever. So the other thing that he's starting to do now, because he's one of those guys that will tell you, well, on eBay this goes for, on eBay this sold for, the last eBay auction this thing sold for. He's one of those guys. And what he started to do now is he started to print off eBay sales, and put them by the item so people know, what these items are going for on eBay, as if eBay is the end all be all. It's a great tool, and that's what it should be, is a tool to kind of find prices, not make that price definite. So you saw in the video there, he put Gargoyle's Quest 2 for the NES on its own little special little stand and an eBay receipt in there, or eBay auction that it sold for $101 for that game. Now, I know a little bit about NES games and stuff like that. I've been doing this long enough. That is not a $100 game, so I'm sure that there may have been something more to that, like there was a box and a manual or something else. Maybe I don't know. But for him to do that is just, it's kind of bullshit. So we did pick up 2 games at Goodwill, and maybe we should send Goodwill a thank you note for allowing us to buy these games, at their store, their scraps or whatever. First game that I picked up, unbelievable, was Midway Arcade Treasures 3 for the original Xbox. Goodwill games are $2.99, so it's complete, very nice condition. Now, I want to get all these Midway Arcade Treasure games for the GameCube. That's kind of my console of choice. And then I guess if I had to settle, PS2 and kind of Xbox is third in the running. But I got this game because it has Hydro Thunder on it. And that's my favorite arcade racer of all time, Hydro Thunder. I've got it for the PlayStation 1, the Nintendo 64, the Xbox here, and the Dreamcast. So if you're into that game or whatever, definitely go with the PlayStation 1 version. The graphics aren't as good as the Dreamcast one, but the music is so much better. The second game we picked up, Atari Anthology for the PlayStation 2. I really like this, hydrofoil cover thing. And, of course, that one's complete with the manual. Now, I'm not the biggest Atari fan, but we did have a 2600 when I was a kid. And I'm probably not going to go out and buy a 2600 and then invest a bunch of money into the games for it, even though they're dirt cheap. But yeah, these collection discs are a great way to just kind of get the basics from that console. This one comes with the millipedes and the centipedes and the asteroids and all that stuff. So whatever. Went to VGMX, found a game for $1.99. Now this one is a spaceship shooter. It's called Shooter Space Shot. If you remember in a previous video, I picked up a game that looks similar to this with this purple title that was called Shooter Starfighter San Vane. This company, Age Tech, I made a series of these games, and yeah, it's just your standard side-scrolling shooter. So from what I understand, this game isn't very long, maybe 5 or 6 levels, and it's not totally difficult. So definitely have to check that out, give it a playthrough. I do love my shooters, so. All right. So we hit up a Ohio thrift store. It's actually that same thrift store that I bought that box, the mystery box, the Mighty Mystery Box. And they had a couple games there. But for $2.92 a piece, I picked up Air Force Delta Storm for the original Xbox. Again, it's complete. With the manual and everything. I actually haven't played these yet, so maybe do that afterwards. And then again, for $2.92, picked up a copy of Fireblade for the Xbox Midway game, complete. I don't know if they made this game for the PlayStation 2. I do know they made it for the GameCube, so there you go. All right, guys. Let's see. Like a video, 2 videos ago or whatever, I bought Xbox 360 game, the orange box game. I bought it for my son for his birthday, and my mom got him some Microsoft points, so he ended up just buying it with his Microsoft points. So I ended up taking it back and exchanging it. Now that game was $14.99, so I just did an even exchange, an even exchange for Animal Crossing for the Nintendo GameCube. Now this is a very nice black label copy. We'll get that sticker off there. Again, $14.99, but got it in trade. It's complete with the manual, and take the manual out here, throw it out there. It does have both of the mail away or the pamphlets inside. So there's the first one, and then here's one for the e-reader for the Game Boy Advance. So if you guys want any information on the e-reader, maybe I'll let you take a look at that. And it's got the precautions manual. Now, the memory card wasn't in there, but the buybacks that I shop at, usually 2 or 3 times a year, they'll actually have the Animal Crossing memory card in there, and they charge $14.99 for it, which is what they charge for GameCube, just regular GameCube memory cards. So throughout the year, if I see it in there, I'll definitely pick it up and then just make that extra complete. So got to Maxine's Bargain Box in Newark, which is my favorite store of all time. And I had $50 in in-store credit, and I wanted to take a game back. So go to the store, And they have a free box. I think I've talked about that before. I threw in a copy of Lemony Snicket's and the Series of Unfortunate Events or some shit into their free bin. And in exchange, I got an Xbox, very nice condition, Xbox CD case. So, there weren't any games in it or anything, but it's really cool. It's got this little keychain or belt clip so you can walk around like a hard ass with Xbox games in your CD case on your belt, if you're into that. But the real reason we went out there is a couple episodes, I don't remember, a couple episodes ago, we picked up this game, Metal Slug 4 and 5 for the PlayStation 2. I had it on in-store credit. It was $7. And I thought this was complete. But actually, this disc is for disc 4, or Metal Slug 4. And the Metal Slug 5 disc wasn't in there. I didn't realize that it was a 2-disc game. So I took it back and I said, hey, Craig, do you have, the Metal Slug 5 disc, in where he keeps all the valuable games with the discs and everything? So he's like, I don't know, man, I'll check. So he checks and he couldn't find it, and he ran in the back and couldn't find it. And he goes, well, I'll tell you what, man, I can't find it, so you can just have this game, and I'll give you your $7 in-store credit back. And, it's not really worth my time to try and complete it, one, or, put it on eBay and hope that eventually somebody buys it. They were in the middle of doing their yearly spring cleaning sale and all that stuff, so getting all that crap out of the back and cleaning it up and pricing and putting it out, it just wasn't worth his time. So he's like, here, you can just keep this one. So we have a copy of Metal Slug 4, I guess, for free for the PlayStation 2. I actually might try and complete it because, on eBay, the Metal Slug 5 disc is like $5 or $7. And, I basically got that for free now. So it's like a $20 game. So we might actually try and complete that one just to have it, I guess. So, I used my $7 in-store credit and picked up some PlayStation 2 games. First game that we picked up was Hidden Invasion. I got that for $1, right? And it's, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's like a beat-em-up type game, like a 3D world beat-em-up type game where you play as this cop and you try and stop this invasion or whatever. But, yeah, so it's got the manual and the disc and everything like that. So I try not to buy games that are not complete. Picked up this game, man, I had a lot of hope for this game. Auto Modelista. It's a racing game. It's a Capcom game. So, again, I had really, really, really high hopes for this game. If you look at the back, man, the graphics are just beautiful. That beautiful art style, cel-shaded graphic. This one's complete with the manual. And for $2, I was like, man, this is going to be a good game. And it's, like I said, beautiful graphics. The sound is great. But unfortunately, in every game, the deal breaker is gameplay. If the game doesn't play right, then the game's a piece of shit. Whether, it's got Capcom slapped on it or some third-party developer or whatever. Now, I think where the game struggles is that, it kind of wants to be an arcade racer. But at the same time, it wants to make you go through the simulation type racer hoops. Where you get your tires set up and your suspension set up and things like that. And I just don't have time to sit there and mess around with, 7 different tire selections to find out which one works best on a road course. I had really high hopes, man. This game let me down. So, but it's a Capcom game. We'll add it to the collection, and there you go. The last game I got, definitely happy to get this one. Pinball Hall of Fame, the Williams Collection. Previous episode, I picked up the Gottlieb collection, so now I've got both of the Pinball Hall of Fame games for the PlayStation 2. It's complete with the manual, and you can check out the back there. I actually think this one is the better version, other than the Gottlieb collection between the two. The tables are brighter, the colors are brighter, and it just makes it easier to play. So if you're a pinball person or collect PlayStation 2 games, I definitely recommend that game. So, and the last game I picked up, I ended up getting it for $8. It had a $10 price tag on it. Tomb Raider Anniversary. And it's got one of those shiny covers. Yay, shiny covers! And that one is also complete. Now I've already put in like I don't know, about 3 hours worth of playtime. And I'm definitely going to finish this one up. Basically, if you've never heard of this game or never played this game, it is essentially just a remake of Tomb Raider 1 on the original PlayStation. The graphics are better, the sound's better, like it's just so much better. I couldn't tell you if in the PlayStation version, if you entered an area, there was one wolf and in here there's two. I couldn't tell you if they made those kind of changes or anything like that, but definitely recommend this game. And like I said, it's got a $10 price tag, but Craig ended up selling it to me for $8, so got a little bit of a discount there. Can't complain about that. All right, so like I said, we had $50 in in-store credit. So I went ahead. I really didn't have a lot. I thought about getting Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes for the GameCube, but it was in like a reprinted cover, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So for $50 in-store credit, for $10, picked up Oddworld, Abe's Exodus. Now I have the first one, and I love the first Oddworld game, but there's the game, the manual, and then of course disc 2 is in there. So yeah, definitely cool to pick up Oddworld and play that one. All right, so had $40 left, and was looking in their rare expensive games case, I guess. I don't know. You know the case where they keep all the good shit. So first game I picked up, I've wanted it for a while, and it's the reason why I threw out all the Super Nintendo stuff this week. It's a game I've wanted, and so for $20 in-store credit, I picked up Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest. It's a little dirty, but that'll clean up. I felt kind of bad, $20 in-store credit, but figure I get 60%, when I trade stuff in. So really, I got this for like $12. So yeah, I can handle that, $12. But I didn't want to burn $20 in in-store credit, but I just figured it was time to pick this game up because that completes my Donkey Kong Country series on the Super Nintendo. All right, so the last game I picked up is an Enix game, right? Before they were with Square. Paid $20 in-store credit for it as well. And that game is The Seventh Saga for the Super Nintendo. This game, I think it's going for a little bit under $20, but it won't be long before, these games will get above $20, and I guess it'll make it worth whatever. But yeah, it's an RPG for the Super Nintendo, and I haven't played it yet, but it looks pretty good. So definitely happy to have that in the collection. So yeah, man, I threw up some of my Super Nintendo stuff this week. I hope you guys are I don't know, enjoying it. Whatever. Who cares? It's Super Nintendo. All right, so last thing we do, give shout outs to our new subscribers. This week we had 2 new subscribers. First one is Jaythevideogameguy. Thanks for subscribing. Now, if you're not familiar with Jay's channel, he does like pickup videos, and they do Let's Plays, and he's got like, vlogs and things like that. There's a bunch of content over there. And the last one is Game Craze. Game Craze does some Let's Plays on his channel. He does, like games that maybe you wouldn't normally watch Let's Plays on, like NFL Blitz or, Dave Mira Freestyle BMX, or what else he did? Oh, he did Second Sight for the Xbox, and then he also did, oh man, I can't think of it. It's like a hover racing game. I can't think of it right now, but that was pretty cool. I'll put the links to those guys' channels in the description down below. So definitely check them out if you like it. Comment, subscribe, all that stuff. So, all right, guys, that is it for this week. Thank you very much for watching this nonsense, and I'll see you next time. Happy